So you do have to see where you sin, and you can only learn that through your social awareness. That, and it will come at, what do you complain about? What's the one thing socially that you hate? I hate abuse. Somehow, some way, I am responsible for that experience on the planet. Mostly because um, I've experienced abuse, and I was always so busy pleasing everybody else. The people pleaser disease. It's like, and that came back at me. It's like I had no self-control. I didn't love self enough. And basically that's what control issues are, is you don't love self enough. You don't love yourself enough to control yourself. You need to control other people so everybody else will worship you. And then that's where you get your false sense of love, is when everybody else is worshiping you. Or you try and please somebody else, and like, it's a really, really wild game, but people pleasers are pleasing so that maybe you will love me back, and you'll always be taken advantage of. You are not teaching anybody how to treat you because you don't know how to treat yourself. So it all, at the end of the day, will be how much you love yourself. And but you have to take total responsibility for your social environment and how you play that role in it. Um, but it can go from one extreme to another. Like, for example, my reflection of the universe would be, okay, us people pleasers, we got to stop being such people pleasers. But if we all went to an extreme, it's not a good thing either. It's got to be, everybody's got to have self-control in whatever dynamics they're experiencing in the world. But when you are right, your world is right. As long as you can see something wrong in your world, then something's wrong with you. If you can't see problems in the world when clearly there's problems in the world, there's something wrong there. That, why can't you see what's right in front of your face? There's people that are starving. A lot of people don't see that there's people starving. Why is it that you would be so blocked off from seeing that there's hunger in the world? I just don't have to look at it, and if I don't see it, it's not there. Then you are massively blocking huge issues in your life. It's like you've gotten rid of a good chunk of your brain that you ain't using. And it's to your own benefit to want to use that part of your brain that you don't want to use, because it'll create your personal happiness. None of this stuff is that you do for somebody else. It's all shit that you end up doing for yourself. You're the beneficiary of living right, because you're the one that's building and creating your life, but your life is based on the world you live in. If the world you live in is gone or dead or corrupt or criminal or expected to attack you, you kind of do have to have a responsibility for your external world. Continuing.
The common cultural belief has mostly been that we need a narrative, a diachronic view on our life to establish moral values. But with our current understandings of the empathic and social nature of the brain, we now know that a purely scientific view with no attachment to our identity or story yields a far more accurate, meaningful, and ethical paradigm than our anecdotal values.
Okay, we've just had a little conversation of right brain, left brain thinking. Science is all left brain thinking. It's all logical mind. Logical mind that has a bias. It's biased at believing it's right, no matter how wrong it is. So to believe that we need to have a science model if you want to drive humanity into pure insanity, that's the route you would go. Totally disagree with that. Um, we are all biased. The creators of your science is biased. You want to perceive your world the way you want to see it. Um, you always want to win your argument. There are always two sides to every story. My divorce, for example, there's 4 kids, 2 adults. I have my perception. Each one has their perception. So individual perceptions, there's 6, but they all individually perceive everybody else's perceptions. So 6 times 6 is 36 versions of my friggin' divorce. Which one is true? We're all biased to see what we want to see. You can equally prove something in science as much as you can disprove it. As soon as science comes up with a concept, the main objective of science is to disprove whosever concept was created. And yet we don't even know what the hell gravity is. We don't know free energy yet exists. There is a lot of things about science that is dead wrong. Science is everything logical. Science creates our economic systems. Science creates our concept of a healthy world. And look at our world today. So totally rejecting the idea that science is going to be objective. It's like you're on the side of war saying I'm the one that's right, you're the one that's wrong, so we're going to listen to it my way, and to hell with you. That is the science mind. That is the insane mind. It thinks that it's always right. So to even just make that suggestion that science should be the basis of how we judge morality, how we move forward, is total insanity. Could be wrong, but the guy that's making this video is biased. Pretty sure he's into science. Pretty sure he wants to be right. But it doesn't mean he's right. It just means he thinks he's right. And there's the challenge. Love is the bias. But we don't even know what love is. So the baseline is health and life. If we're doing everything right, we tend to live. If we're doing everything wrong, we tend to die. Science has an explanation of, hey, we all die. You know, science has a way of saying, oh, you're sick, take a pill. Science also, though, has been saying everything is causal. So if we are dealing with any illness, it's what's the cause of every illness. I mean, if this holodynamics has been curing every illness for more than 30 years, all based on the concept of cure the cause, you cure the disease, cure the health issue, no matter what the health issue is. So that is our new good health care, is the moral compass of moving forward in our planet. Everybody should actually be happy. Everybody. As soon as somebody's not happy, there's a problem within our society. There's a problem with how we are creating the rules of our society. If you have a justice system where you're going to discipline, pretty sure the criminal's not going to be happy. So you kind of want to make that criminal happy. What is making a criminal be a criminal? What is the causes? Cure the cause, you cure all criminals. You cure mental illness that creates all of this insanity. And frankly, right now I'm seeing more scientists be totally friggin' insane, and scientists are making these friggin' documentaries where they have the potential to make global fucking change, but all they want to do is repeat the same thing over and over and over again. This is like the Venus Project. They want to come up with, technology is going to, control our world. Yeah, you turn that computer on, there ain't no stopping it. It is the same friggin' system as what we've got now. The Venus Project, for example, it doesn't have a complaints department. Does your government have a complaints department? Can you go and complain to your government now? Or do they just sort of say what you want to hear until they get elected? And then after they get elected, they're saying, wait until I build it and then watch me. Look throughout history. Hasn't every single politician ever told you what you want to hear, but never follows through? It's the same thing with this Venus project. They're going to tell you what you want to hear, but they're never going to be able to follow through because they can't do it now. If you can't live in the shoes you live in now, you will not live in it in the future. Totally dead wrong, that one statement. I can't tell you how much I disagree with that. But I could be wrong. Open for the conversation to be proven wrong. Right now, burn on you. Moving forward.
This is logical, since our traditional tendency to define ourselves as imaginary individualistic constants neurally wires and designs the brain towards dysfunctional cognitive processes, such as compulsive labeling and the psychological need to impose expectations. Practical labeling underpins all forms of interactions in our daily lives. But by psychologically labeling the self as internal and the environment as external, we constrain our own neurochemical processes and experience a diluted disconnection. Growth and its evolutionary side effects, such as happiness and fulfillment, are stimulated when we are not being labeled in our interactions. We may have many different views and disagree with one another in practical terms, but interactions that nevertheless accept us for who we are without judgment are neuropsychological catalysts that wire the human brain to acknowledge others and accept rationally verified belief systems without dissonance. Stimulating this type of neural activity and interaction alleviates the need for distraction or entertainment and creates cycles of constructive behavior in our environment. Sociologists have established that phenomena such as obesity and smoking, emotions and ideas spread and ripple through society in much the same way that electric signals of neurons are transferred when their activity is synchronized.
Now, I don't really think that this is also right. I agree, don't label. When you label, you actually create. But here's the thing, is if society labels one person as having the mental illness, the person that has the mental illness, the one that we label, doesn't have the mental illness. It's the society that has the mental illness. It goes right back to the very beginning. When you judge something, it is a reflection of you. You are the creator of it. So it's not so much that we need to stop judging. It's a matter of we need to be self-aware of what it is that we do judge. That takes a lot of awareness, is to see that you are the creator of it. So label away. But just know that the person doing the labeling is the one with the illness, and you just got to cure it. It's like you can't be blocking away issues anymore. You got to cure your mind. And it usually is that logical mind that believes it's right, but it's always going to be wrong.
We are a global network of neurochemical reactions, and the self-amplifying cycle of acceptance and acknowledgement, sustained by the daily choices in our interactions, is the chain reaction that will ultimately define our collective ability to overcome imagined differences and look at life in the grand scheme of things.